Here are a few videos which will help you to get prepared for calculus. So in this video, we'll learn how to find equation of a tangent line. The question is, find the slope and equation of the tangent lines, L-I-N-E-S, to the parabola y equals to x square minus 1 at its x-intercepts. So that's a very interesting question, and with this question we'll review a couple of concepts. So first is, we are given a parabola y equals to x square minus 1. Let's make a small sketch of this parabola. So x square minus 1 really means that the parabola will be shifted one unit down, kind of like this, right? So that will be a parabola, and we need to find slope and equation of the tangent lines to the parabola x square minus 1 at its x-intercepts. So these are the x-intercepts, right? So at these points. So if you draw a tangent line here, for example, correct? So it will be kind of like this, right? If you draw a tangent line there, for example, like this, right? It will be kind of like this. So we have to find equation of both the tangent lines. That's first thing, very important thing to understand, right? So you have to read the question carefully and then answer it fully, right? So this is your graph f of x, that is x. Now let's first find out where these x-intercepts are. Now you're given a function y equals to x square minus 1. To find x-intercepts, we have to equate y to 0, right? So x-intercepts means that y is equals to 0. So we write 0 equals to x square minus 1, and that means x is equals to plus and minus 1, right? We can say square root of 1, which will be plus and minus 1. So both plus and minus 1 will give you 0 for this function. So the x-intercepts are at minus 1 and plus 1, correct? So these are our points. Points are minus 1, 0 and 1, 0. So we first find the x-intercepts. So that's the first step. Okay. Now we need to find slope. Now to find slope, you can use the formula y equals y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Now to find slope, you need 2 points. We have only 1 point, and this is the x-intercept. So which is the second point? So what we will do is, in general, we have to take a point which is on the line somewhere close enough to the given point. Okay, so let's take this point as Q, close enough to x equals to minus 1, and find the slope of the tangent line which will pass through Q and minus 1, where Q is very, very close to minus 1. That's the whole idea. All right. So what are going to be the coordinates of Q? So Q coordinates will be, if I take x as one value, then y value will be x square minus 1, right? And then we have a point P, which I'm calling this point as point P, whose coordinates are minus 1 and 0, right? So we know our y2, y1, x2 and x1, and we can say this slope, let me call slope 1 of this line, the first tangent line should be y2 minus y1, that means x square minus 1, that is the y2 value, minus 0, y1 value, divided by x2 minus x1, that means x minus of minus 1 becomes plus 1, right? So let me write minus of minus 1. Okay, let me write like this. So then it really gives me equals to x square minus 1 divided by x plus 1, correct? Now x square minus 1 I can factor. So if I factor this, I get x plus 1 times x minus 1 divided by x plus 1. Now in this case, I can cancel out x plus 1 and x plus 1. So I'm left with x minus 1. Now my x value for q is indeed very close to minus 1. It is not 1, but it's very close to minus 1, right? So we in a way say that the point q, we can say the point q is such that our x value is very close to minus 1, right? So for practical reasons, I will write this as minus 1 and find slope m1, right? So in that case, m1 is equals to minus 1, which is minus 2. So I find the slope of the first line, correct? Now once we have find the slope, then we can always write the equation of line, correct? So for finding of to write the equation of line, we can use point slope form of the equation. So point slope form of the equation is y minus y1 equals to m times x minus x1, correct? Now in this case, slope is minus 2, y minus y1 is 0 for us, right? This point is minus 1 and 0, right? So we have y minus 0 equals to m times x value is what for us? X minus x value is minus 1. So I'll write minus 1 here, correct? So that is what we get, and so we get y equals to mx, and m is minus 2. Let me write minus 2 for m, so I get minus 2 times x plus 1. Is it okay? Now we can expand it, so we get minus 2x minus 2. So that means equation of this line, which is drawn here, it should have a y-intercept at minus 2, right? And the slope is also minus 2, correct? So we get equation of first line. Now we'll follow the same method and find equation of the second line, right? Now the concept is, well, exactly same what we did, right? So let's use another point this time, but this point is going to be very close to 1, and we'll call this point as q dash. Now so now what we have here is the point q dash, which is x value of x, and the y value is going to be x square minus 1, correct? And here, as we know, x actually approaches 1, but it is not 1. So it could be like 1.001. Okay, for practical reasons, 1.001 could be a good value to take. Now, the point given to us, which is, let's say this point P dash, is what? P dash is 1 and 0. So we know these 2 points, so we can find slope. So now again we'll go through the same calculations. Slope is y2 minus y1. So y2 is x square minus 1 minus y1, which is 0, divided by x2 minus x1, which is x minus 1, correct? So that gives us x square minus 1, which I could write as x plus 1 times x minus 1 divided by x minus 1, right? So now x minus 1 cancels out, so we get slope equals to x plus 1. Now as you see, x is approaching 1, correct? So I can write this as 1 plus 1 equals to 2, right? I could have written 1.001, then be 2.001, which approximates to 2, right? So we have a slope of 2 for the line at x-intercept of 1. Now if this is the slope and the point, so we have slope m equals to 2, and this point P dash is 1 and 0. So what is the equation of line? So this time we'll use slope intercept form, which is y equals to mx plus b, right? Some students are conversant with this, the others with the other form. So I'm just changing. So we have y value of 0, okay, and x value is 1, slope is 2. So we have 2 and 1 plus b, right? So from here we get the b value, which is the y-intercept. which is minus 2. So minus 2 is equals to b, and therefore the equation of the line is y equals to m is 2 for us, 2x minus 2, right? So that is the second equation. So in this way we get equation of both the lines. So these are the two tangent lines to the curve y equals to x squared minus 1, and these are tangents at x-intercepts, right? So you'll see that both intersect at minus 2, right? So that is how it is. I think with this we reviewed all about sketching parabolas, finding x-intercepts, finding equation of the lines, right? And the concept of tangent itself. I hope that helps. Thank you and all the best.